We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right... Oh, wait a minute. I'm so in my groove. How can I let it down? I'm your man behind the microphone and your current reigning and defending Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion of the world, Scholar Jeff. To my right is the current Scholars of Wrestling party champion, Scholar Tarek. How's it going tonight, sir?
You forgot one little detail in the other introduction of me.
But what did I miss?
The rating party champion, your undisputed scholar, Scholar Tarek.
I didn't forget it.
No,
Neither did our other guest this week, the scholar in training, Mr. Sit himself, Charlie. How's it going, sir?
You guys got gold. I got gold. It's been a good week. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, you're rocking the most famous scarf in all the land right now.
I am the scarf of the future.
Though I have to ask, did you own that scarf before or after Full Gear?
Before, actually, yes.
I'm kind of disappointed you didn't bring your scarf in for this episode, fool.
Well, I did have a scarf, but it wasn't the appropriate color. And besides,
It's black and gold.
I mean, I got this.
It's your nexus.
the only black and gold thing I need around my shoulder is right here. Thank you very large.
It's not.
Thank you very large.
Yes.
It's not going to be around your shoulder. It's going to be around your neck. That's where scarves go.
It is.
Okay, then for all of our visual audiences, okay, here we go.
Now that's not leaving your neck.
And it's not a scarf.
Hey, at least now I've got my hands and shoulder free, so yeah. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about this week on the Scholars Wrestling Show, including a very particular return that we got to address in a little segment we like to call Backstage News.
Indeed, we shall go ahead and check in WWE backstage for this little
Backstage News. Getting with the program, man.
The sit's
wish-
learning this sit.
What did I tell you?
What? Oh.
That stays around because you put that around your neck, it stays around your neck.
Scarf etiquette, Junior.
For the rest of the show.
I am concerned about
Never
inhibiting.
worn a scarf before.
I am also worried about inhibiting sound quality. They must hear my lovely voice.
Oh, they hear it all right.
I think we have a good enough mic to pick up that
Anything
voice
that
of yours.
echoes it.
Hey, sound quality is a thing, but you know what? Sound quality is such a thing that, yeah, everyone was screaming for when this guy returned. CM Punk returns to WWE, kind of, on the WWE Backstage show. I admit, I saw this coming.
Let's reword this.
Did you though?
Instead of the sort of,
I will go into that.
instead of just returning to WWE sort of, let's say CM Punk returns to WWE television.
Okay.
Because that's what it was. It may be a Fox-centric show, but it's still a WWE branded show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the reason I say I saw this coming was in previous interviews, Punk had mentioned that he was meeting with Fox executives for a WWE program. So when he did show up, it wasn't exactly unknown or off the table. So it wasn't as big of a surprise, but it was still a surprise all the same when I woke up the next morning and found, oh, wait, he's actually on the show.
Do you think it partially had something to do with their less than 50,000 viewers on their debut episode?
I don't think it had anything at all to do with that, and I'll tell you why. Because that number spiked up as soon as it got out when it was actually airing. Because I admit, when their first official show happened, I had no idea when it was on.
Yeah, I just happened to catch it by happenstance.
Yeah.
I was like looking through the guide, so I'm like, oh, DVR.
I thought they had a very similar show, like immediately after SmackDown. So when I saw that, I thought that's what the original time slot was meant to be.
Yeah.
And that's where I got confused. Because if I found out that because I actually liked the show. If I had known when it was actually on, then would be watching it far more consistently, and then I would have been able to see CM Punk happen exactly when it happened.
Yeah.
And then apparently I'm not the only one, because the very next week viewership spiked. It was to, I believe,
Well, this
6
was
figures.
the second week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought it was the third.
No, this was the second week.
Well, again, it hasn't been on for very long, but word is spreading.
Yeah.
Word is absolutely spreading.
I
Especially
didn't
now.
think numbers had anything to do with it either, considering the fact that the whole rumors of CM Punk meeting with Fox executives were going on long before this show actually aired. So pretty much you were just thinking, all right, it's just a matter of he turned down that AEW contract that's worth a lot of money, and he
Yeah.
went for the Fox money. So yeah, it's just it wasn't if it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when.
And you all know how much Charlie and 11 o'clock start times don't get along. So, of course, I DVR'd this and heard afterwards what had happened. So I woke up super early for work like usual and turned it on. And when Renee Young did that, I cried.
And it was funny that she was the only one that actually knew that was happening, and everyone
Yeah.
else was just like, yeah, we're in the dark. So when this moment happened, whoa.
And if Paige did know, that was the worst sell ever. Paige's reaction was like lackluster. It was like forced.
Well, you can tell she does not want to be in a backstage
Yeah.
role.
Well, then again, I'm sure she's doing just fine with her WWE and Fox money.
Well, yeah.
She's doing fine with that, but-
She just extended her contract as well, so
She wants to
sure
do- she
money's
wants to do
going her
more.
way.
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine, but then again, yeah, CM Punk still now once again back in the WWE related mix. Now, because of this, I'm sure you've heard the talk as much as I have. As soon as CM Punk shows up again, there's all the talk coming back of him actually wrestling a match again.
Yep.
So in that spirit, just a little scholar's quick talk question for everyone here.
Okay.
Do you see CM Punk coming back to the ring and actually wrestling a match ever again for WWE?
For WWE, I'm gonna say yes, just not anytime soon. It's what Booker T said. Time spent now back on WWE TV, that itch will come back. And I think honestly, I think the only way he'll actually do it if it's a main event match at WrestleMania, or main event of WrestleMania.
If that's the case, then I don't think he's ever going to come back and wrestle. Given how particular he seems to be, unless he does get that WrestleMania main event, which may or may not even mean much to him, as much as it pains me to say this, I'm going to have to say it doesn't look likely.
He'll be
at least not my pick.
He'll be McFoleyed. Linda McMahon will show up and just say, one deserving individual whose dream will come true.
Oof. Oof. You've had to take it to that dark place. All right.
How long have you known me?
Yes,
How many
true.
times have I taken
This is
situations on and off air to dark
yeah,
places?
that really went without saying. All right, so my stance on it is, of course, I hope he does. I believe that time heals all wounds. And there's a difference between what I'm hoping for and what I'm thinking will happen. What I'm hoping for is baby steps in a matter of maybe commentary or something at a pay-per-view leading into the new year. Rumble entrant and a match. But hopefully then he gets it and he wants to stay. But that's what I'm hoping for. What I think in reality is, and what I only watched the first opening seconds of, they had like a documentary leading up to backstage, and the first sentence crushed my dreams. He's like, this isn't a deal with the WWE, this is a deal with Fox. So yeah, I think if I continue watching that, it'll only make me more upset.
If that's, I will say though, if that's what really upsets you that much, I don't think
No,
that's
I'm
necessarily
happy to see him back in a talking matter on backstage.
But here's the thing. This is it is a Fox deal, not a WWE deal.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, this is also his first toes back into that world.
True.
It's not just pro wrestling, it's also WWE again. Familiar faces, familiar spaces,
But you got to also look at it this way. In his relationship, like, he's already been hurt enough by it, and then he goes home to someone who poisons the WWE well in AJ. So, you know, between the two of them having such a bad taste in their mouth, this could very well be a Fox deal and not a WWE deal.
Which, speaking of AJ, there's even rumors about her showing up on backstage. So,
which would be cool. But then again, a lot of this is not set in stone, and
Yeah.
a lot of this is still yet to be written. And let's face it, either way, as much as Punk has been outspoken in public and AJ has not, both of these people, minds are changing, and we don't know them.
Can I bring up another cool takeaway from backstage?
What is that takeaway?
How do you guys feel about Randy Orton using AEW as leverage for a better long-term contract with WWE?
He is a
Genius?
smart businessman.
Yes.
I mean, at this day and age, and the way that
Triple H was probably like, my boy, learning from the best.
it's all about the game and how you play it.
Yeah.
I will say, I am
That's
when it
it.
comes to Randy Orton, I am very disappointed on them shutting down his plan on returning or reuniting FTRKO. He threw the idea of reuniting with the Revival as an actual faction, and the higher-ups turned him down.
But then again, I'm sure he's making those fat WWE checks. So
No, now he certainly is. If he has
now
that
he
kind of
certainly is.
extension.
Now he certainly is. I can't really say the same for the Revival, who've already made it clear. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they're gonna let this last contract end, and
we know where they're going.
yeah, dream matches will come true once they leave.
Yeah.
Oh yes, indeed. But in the meantime, we still have a really exciting AEW pay-per-view to cover in Full Gear. We'll go down the results top to bottom. It was a great show, starting with Britt Baker defeating Bea Priestley. I think we all bet against Britt Baker, and you know how fools on us. Shame on us.
If I was on your show, I would have gotten that right because I went with Adam Cole's baby.
Yeah, you've been sitting on that pun for how long?
A little over like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I think a lot longer.
I think it paid off.
Did it?
I do.
It may have paid off for you, but I'm just hearing.
Cheers. Yes, quite.
Yes, quite. Cheering Adam Cole's baby.
See?
Yeah. In all seriousness, though, I feel like I'm
I don't
almost
cheers either of you.
I'm almost ashamed. I'm almost ashamed because I didn't see this coming, even though I felt like I probably
She was
should
due
have.
a match. Come on.
But then again, I feel like they want to make Britt Baker a thing, and it didn't seem like she was quite clicking in the way that they wanted her to.
This is
So
true.
I wasn't quite, given WWE's style compared to AEW's, I was thinking they're going to take it in a different direction. But no, it seems like they're still definitely all in on Britt Baker, pun fully intended.
Yes.
What? You love the puns, and you love the puns, don't you?
No.
Yeah. Tarek,
He's thinking something dirty.
Tarek Scholar loves the puns.
Probably like Adam Cole is all in on Britt Baker.
Okay, my mind didn't go there, but thank you for your input.
You're welcome.
Okay, speaking of going all in on the actual card itself, Proud and Powerful defeating the Young Bucks. I mean, what else can you say about that?
I am thrilled that they went in this direction. When I was watching this, somebody asked me my opinion on the Young Bucks, and I'm like, they're glorified spot monkeys. as much as I love the Elite, as much as I love the Bullet Club, as much as I love all of that, they are glorified. As much as I love monkeys, they are glorified spot monkeys. Let's just a spade's a spade.
Hey, but you know what? They're fun spot monkeys.
They are. I didn't say they're unfun spot monkeys. I called them spot monkeys.
Yeah.
Take it as you will.
Indeed, I did. But eventually, they're one of those teams and one of these personalities they're Teflon. The Young Bucks will always be over.
Tarek seems like he has so much to say right now.
I really don't have much to say. It's just from what I've gathered from this entire show is that the Elite are in that position because they're the ones in power. They're the ones who are putting younger guys over because they're already the established stars.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of this right now, of their first stages of being a brand new on-air brand.
Yeah.
So these losses don't mean jack for them.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to keep going. They're going to put on great shit.
Would you rather have a company that's guys that ran it won every match?
I can't say I would, although I can't imagine what kind of company.
Yeah, where have we seen that before?
I don't know.
I got a guitar right here. I can give you some hints. That's not Elias.
Oh boy.
I had to shut that down with you.
Did I say?
I believe the colors went a little like this. Golden red.
No.
Hulk Hogan. No.
No.
Real American. No. Anyway,
we'll go with that too. But
speaking of westerns and guitars and such, Adam Page defeated Pac.
I was shocked.
You were shocked by Pac.
I was shocked by Pac.
I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting what they had on Dynamite. I was expecting.
You were expecting Pac wearing socks.
I was expecting
against their rivals on Fox.
I was expecting the match. Just stop it, both of you. I was expecting the match that they had on Dynamite Kick to be their match that was that was on Full Gear. That was not the case, and that cost me a point in the prediction. And I was like,
I thought
God damn it,
cost him the pudding.
No, I have plenty. I have plenty of chocolate pudding. I wanted a snack pack. I thought I was your snack pack. What are you talking about? Nothing.
So in other words,
I was shocked by Pac.
You're shocked by Pac, but not because of his socks, but because the match rocked.
Yes.
It was an awesome match.
Yes.
Well,
because yes.
All right, we gotta move on. We're on the clock.
Yes.
I do like that they said on a Dynamite Kick. It's like since Pac won the war pretty much, apparently that's what they're going for. It's like, is there anything that can make him happy? He's never happy.
No.
Yeah.
I love that he teases
Socks.
going up on the ropes when he enters, though. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Super heel.
Seriously, those stomps to the head.
Yes.
God damn.
Yes.
I'm like, yep. Stop it. He's already dead.
Yeah, Pac and socks really cleaned his clock.
For fuck's sake, let's go on to the next match.
I love this episode. It's so full. It's so punny. I love it.
Fantastic.
It's puntastic. Elsewhere, we also have Shawn Spears defeating Joey Janela, and I'll tell you what, I'm blanking on the name of the guy who's coming out with Shawn Spears. Tully Blanchard, and
his daughter's only running stuff over at Impact.
Yeah, I don't know why I was blanking on the name, but oh man, he's still willing to put in work. At least do some kind of a spot. I was really impressed by him, and I was really impressed with this match. As far as Joey Janela, I'm guessing that you're probably going to see him start winning some more matches after this, because I feel like Shawn Spears was definitely due, and I think Joey Janela is going to be coming up on being due fairly soon. If not on Dynamite Kick pretty soon, then it's got to be at the next big show.
I don't know. I'm not. Okay. So the guy's crazy, right? He's like glorified stuntman type.
Ooh, pulling a Flair Foley bit on this one.
Yeah. No, but come on.
Breathe.
The match that was sponsored by Cracker Barrel. Come on. How many
Why are your
how
cheeks
many
getting red?
how many look at me spots did Joey Janela have in that match? He's an attention seeker. Let's face facts. He picked up the whole claw thing after backing out of Enzo almost wiping the floor with him at PNC. He's an attention seeker. He sells well, he wrestles well, but he's a stuntman. And I think that he is gonna be a what is it called? What how do you say?
Jabroni?
No. The guys that make other guys look good.
Jobber to the
Not
stars?
jobbers, but there's a certain name for it. I don't
Enhancement
know. Enhancement talent, yes. I think he's going to be AEW's enhancement talent for quite some time. Because I feel like he's in that Darby Allin group right now of those awesome mid-carders, but I feel like he's just there to put over those awesome mid-carders.
I feel like Joey Janela's got more. I feel like
I offended you so much in that, and I'm sorry. I didn't know you were such a Joey Janela guy.
Are you talking about me or?
Yeah.
No,
he's more of a.
Well, I'm not that much of a Joey Janela guy. I'm actually more of a Brandon Cutler guy.
Okay.
For reasons I'm sure you can discern, but then again, I genuinely feel like someone like Brandon Cutler is more going to be in that role longer term. Meanwhile, I feel like Joey Janela is still over enough that he's going to find his niche in the mid card. It's just for now, someone's got to get over, and as good of a name as you are, you're going to lose to the even higher name guys. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just where Joey Janela is at right now. So I think he's due.
We'll see.
But meanwhile, we got the tag titles on the line, and SCU retained over the Lucha Bros and Private Party. Okay, break that down for me. What does that?
Does anyone else feel? Does anyone else feel that Scorpio Sky is kind of getting a little too hard of a push? So it is not just me.
I think I'm noticing why Scorpio Sky is getting pushed more, because Christopher Daniels is coming back from an injury.
Yeah.
So if while he's still recuperating, I think Scorpio Sky will get more exposure and mic time and all that stuff.
Being the first guy to pin Chris Jericho in AEW, though?
Someone had to do it.
But Scorpio Sky? I'm going to pull a Miz here. Really?
Scorpio Sky.
I like the guy, but I don't think he's like...
You like the guy, Scorpio Sky?
This isn't even puns anymore.
I'm not adding to this.
This is just rhyming.
I'm sitting this one out.
So that's no lie then.
Too many pies?
Could need some fries.
Oh my god!
No more No, that'll bring in too many flies.
Anywho, Lucha Bros should have won.
As much as I love the Lucha Bros and I'm a big fan of Pentagon, I love Pentagon Jr. He's just too damn cool. I understand why they would be hesitant to put the straps on them, just because they're
let's call them straps.
Belt straps, championship
belt strap-ons.
Belt strap.
I'm done. I'm done.
Damn it! Get back here.
Yeah.
You gotta stop that right now.
All right.
You gotta stop that right now, both of you.
All right.
I've reached my limit.
He's gonna drop his F-bomb sooner on this.
In all seriousness, I can see why they would be hesitant to put their championship titles on the Lucha Bros, as good as they are. I'm sure that they would want, as good as they are, they would want them to keep the belts on an exclusive or homegrown talent. Something that's particular to AEW. And let's face it, if their circumstances change, they can easily have either the Lucha Bros as front runners to the title or as future champions. It's not unheard of. But as far as this being this early in the company history, I'm not surprised that they ended up bringing the SCU over.
When Christopher Daniels was unveiled, it hit me. Like, have you ever seen such a talented wrestler more content with mediocrity in your life than Christopher Daniels? He deserves so much more than his career has given him. And yet he seems like the happiest guy on the face of the universe.
Yeah, but then again, happiness isn't always made up of what you have, is it?
No. I get that, but like, it's what he deserves, not necessarily what he has or what he has had in the past. He has deserved. He should be umpteen former TNA champion now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And you know what?
He should be umpteen former
totally
wherever
with you.
he's been champion.
I totally agree. 100%.
But yet they're like, here's our version of the European title. And he's like dancing around in circles like the happiest guy on earth.
But then again, at his age, I'm sure it's just like, okay, I've done all this work. I've known for being one of the best in the world at what I do. And I'm still making money. I'm still over. And now I'm on the cutting edge in this brand new wrestling promotion in this new golden age of wrestling. And here's my niche. And I'm still damn good.
So wrestle circles around half the guys, half his age. So
yep, and he's still in incredible shape. And he can still do the best moonsault ever. Last I checked. So, hey, what do you want?
God knows Angle can't anymore.
That's
He's still our fallen angel.
Quite.
I had to.
I still miss that. I still say his music in TNA was completely badass.
Yes, it really was.
This is true.
But moving on to the ladies, Riho defeated Emi Sakura, and
No one cares. No one cares.
This match
They
should
didn't
not
care
have
on the-
made air.
No one cared on the show.
This match
the audience
should
didn't care.
not
The
have
audience
made air.
didn't care. I didn't care.
The fact that any decimal of what I paid for that pay-per-view went to this match is sad, awful, sickening, disturbing, disgusting, unamusing.
but
It was just awful.
but
It was an awful match.
Asian,
It was
Asians,
an awful match.
Asian girls.
Tell that to Pete Anderson. It was an awful match.
I wasn't a fan of it either.
Thank you, Tarek.
Well, geez, if I
There was
boy.
literally little to no build for this match,
And it showed.
and yeah, it showed.
It was awful. I've never looked at this camera more seriously in my life to speak about a match.
I was gonna say
It was terrible.
your eyes frighten me right now. Okay, moving on before
It's like, he
before you
hasn't
give the
blinked
people
since-
nightmares.
He hasn't blinked this whole segment.
Okay, speaking of things that'll make you blink, Chris Jericho defeated Cody via throwing in the towel.
Okay, so
It was an amazing match.
so technically, Brian and I were both right on how this match was gonna on this ending of the match.
Did you... Wait, how long have you been watching wrestling?
Me?
Yeah.
Since
what
I was
year?
8.
What year?
What year was that? I was I think that was 1996.
So he didn't catch the reference like me and you did. Do you remember the submission match with Bob Backlund and Bret Hart? And Owen playing the role that MJF did on Sunday?
I actually didn't catch that, but
Right?
wow,
Right?
holy
Right?
now I gotta look at this match again in a whole different light.
Yes, it hit
That
me
is
when
a-
I was watching it. I couldn't
That is
believe
a-
it. I'm like, Cody is definitely the type to go back and study and pick something that people have definitely forgotten, aside from crazy people like me, and be like, I want to recreate that. And MJF was the perfect Owen
Well, how about
in
that?
that situation.
How about that? The scholar in training has been doing his homework.
I will say, like, what I meant by both Brian and I were right about these predictions. He was right that MJF would cost Cody the match, but it was me that called the full heel turn that happened after the match, and I was referencing with another Owen, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on NXT.
Okay.
After Sami Zayn won the NXT Championship, Kevin Owens came down to celebrate, and next thing you know, boom! Heel turn with Kevin Owens.
What are you? I'm just talking about, and for those that don't know at home, and possibly Jeff in this situation, I don't know if he's watched back on the network, but okay, so there was this submission match back in the day between Bret Hart and Bob Backlund, and Owen Hart was at ringside, a face Owen Hart, and his parents were sitting at ringside, and I believe Helen Hart had the towel initially, right?
Yes.
Helen Hart had the towel initially at ringside. Bob Backlund puts Bret in the chicken wing, and Owen just starts panicking. Like, full-blown panic attack that his brother is stuck in this hold and he doesn't know what to do, and he goes over and he begs Stu for the towel at first, Helen's husband, Bret's dad. And Stu's just like, no, he'll get out of it, blah, 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 he'll get out of it. And Owen's like, please, like, look at him. Look at what's happening to him. I can't watch this. And then he like, convinces Helen to give him the towel. And then he just throws in the towel for Bret. And then he just, like, that, like, started snowballing their feud.
I remember seeing that, like, obviously replays after the fact. But yeah, because I hadn't seen it firsthand or live at the time, I didn't make that connection.
The sympathy that, like, you felt for, like, MJF, he was, like, real there, and it was a perfect heel turn. It was for the future star. Like, congratulations, AEW. Like, you are set on your heel for the next however long you need to be.
I will say, however, that I'm sure you saw the infamous, just like whoever threw a beer at MJF.
Oh, dude, that is what solidified it, actually, because the look that he gave was the look of satisfaction. Like,
okay.
This is what I was craving.
Exactly. This is like, okay, I got what I wanted.
He, like, side-eyed the camera and gave that smirk. Oh, man.
I don't think I've seen him look that smug ever.
It was perfect.
It was the equivalent of the CM Punk at a house show during the time when he was Straight Edge Society, and the woman's like, "You're going to hell. And
You're
like,
the devil.
You're the devil."
Yeah.
And CM Punk is just like, "That's what I want."
I love that in his documentary where,
Yep. We talked about CM Punk.
Perfect.
MJF, CM Punk. I thought that would be perfect for you, Charles.
And then the next week on Dynamite kick.
No, but like
promo.
Somebody definitely like threw a bucket of water at him before that beer can hit him because he got like splashed with something and then you see a beer can. But the look he gave that camera was just the look of the most satisfied heel ever. Like he's like, this is exactly what I needed to happen.
And then they go backstage. Dude, are you okay? You okay? I'm grand right now. I'm on cloud 9, baby.
Oh,
and then just that
good.
promo he had with Jericho.
23 years old. And he is going to be the hottest heel for God knows how long.
Glorious.
Oh.
Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. But then again, now we bring it to our main event. A lights-out match. My boy Jon Moxley defeated my other boy Kenny Omega. It's as it should have been. But be honest with me. There's been reactions to this match all over the place. What honest opinions?
See, I'm at a paradoxical look in this because A, I think people are being sensitive, and B, I couldn't look during the hanging part for reasons that we know. But I feel that if I cast opinion outside of my own, that people are being sensitive snowflakes. And I think that their match, as brutal as it was, it's an unsanctioned match for a new company that's gonna want to show what I like about AEW is they do 360. They're covering every ground when it comes to professional wrestling. So when you're gonna have every ground covered and you're having your first unsanctioned match, am I right? First unsanctioned match?
I believe so.
And you're having your first unsanctioned match, like, why not push that envelope as far as possible?
Completely agree. And I think that's part of what they were going for. That, yeah, they're not going to do this kind of match all the time. Yeah, they're not always going to get two people who are willing to and want to actively participate in a match like this to deliberately push the envelope as much as they possibly can. But just having this adds to the legacy of both men, where you have a lights out match, you've got two people who are willing to do whatever it takes to win, and not even just win, but just straight up torture each other.
Yes. And if you're going to have two men torture each other, one of them is going to be Moxley, and Kenny Omega can take anything that anyone throws at him. So it was the perfect combination.
Darby Allin shows up.
Oh, yeah. Well,
next week on Dynamite Kick. That one's going to be fun. But anyway, Fool, what do you think about this match?
Personally, I actually understood where Alvarez and Meltzer specifically were going with this. With what they were saying about, like, it's okay to have this match. But it just didn't seem like it was the right time for it. They could have had more time to build. Kind of like, this is the type of match that would settle a blood feud. And, like, was it too violent? No. We've seen worse. We've seen worse matches in other companies.
Definitely. In WWE.
Like, yeah, in WWE. But even to the point, it's like, I think there's, like, it was fake glass, fake barbed wire.
Well,
like,
yeah.
No, it's not like one of those things where you actually are seeing flesh torn off.
Yeah.
Type of ordeal. But it's still just, when I watched this, I didn't watch it live. And then I heard all the backlash on it, and some people were saying this and that. And after I watched it myself, I'm like, okay, I see where both ends are coming from. In my opinion, it kind of really was more of just a spot fest. Like, we know that these two guys can put on a great match and could actually put story into it, but I didn't really see story, more just doing it for the sake of shock and awe. And I really didn't get the story aspect until I saw Dynamite Kick, especially when Omega, they showed the clip of that Omega saying he's not cleared to wrestle for the week, and he asked, what about Moxley? He's like, he left already, and he was cleared, and you just saw the disappointment in Omega's face. And I'm just like, that's what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see to build for an unsanctioned, lights out, dark, whatever the hell they're calling it. So it gave some redeeming factors to it, but I'm just, even when it was the days of ECW, I'm not a big fan of just extreme moments just for the shock and awe, just for the sake of shock and awe, where I want there to be legit reasons to have this shock and awe. Like, there's this one guy on social media, and all he's doing is just jumping on shit. I don't remember what his name. He's just some kid. He takes off his shirt and he just always yells. Yells, "Fuck this shit," and jumps on stuff. And he's just doing it for the sake of shock and awe. And
Superhuman.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm just watching. I'm just watching him, like, and then just hearing all these people. Oh, you're such a hero of wrestling, and I'm just going, no, he's not. And now he's actually getting into the ring and actually learning stuff. Good on him on that end. But trying to make a name for yourself just by doing shock and awe, just for the sake of shock and awe. That's not what I look for in this one. And the next time they have an unsanctioned match, hopefully they'll have more story built to it. Because in the end, I wasn't really a huge fan of this match, which I know that Moxley and Omega could actually put on something fantastic in this environment, and I just didn't get it for this one.
Okay.
You okay? You got
And
something to say,
I
Charles?
see where you guys are coming from too.
No.
But yeah, that's just how I felt about it. And
You're open to that.
don't call
I
me a
feel
snowflake.
what? No. I'm not, no. This,
No.
You in no way said that it made you feel uncomfortable
No,
or
it
that it was
honestly
too
did.
much. If anything, I said that.
Yeah,
But okay. Just one thing that I noticed in what you said is this is the type of match that should be like a finale of a feud. All right. Think of being dead set days before facing someone and then cutting your 13th hour promo only to be interrupted saying that guy is injured. How much more are you going to want to torture that guy when you finally get your hands on him? Omega Moxley was set up for an event prior. And Omega was cutting a promo on Moxley when he was interrupted and told about Moxley's staph infection. So I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like with that happening, that this, yes, it could have been an ender, but it also started things off with a bang between the two of them. And I think that they
maybe a spark more than a bang.
No. But to have the unsanctioned as their first match, then, like just the title in general, not what happened, not the aftermath of it, just having an unsanctioned match as their first match. The idea may have been to start it off with a bang. It may have come out a spark, but where they can go from here is
doesn't really look like they're gonna really go anywhere from here. It looks like it was kind of just pushed to the wind, really. I mean, Moxley's moving on to bigger and better, smaller things with Darby Allin, but
hey, the two of them are going to put on a psychotic show. So
that's the one I'm kind of
that
worried.
fall that Darby Allin, I don't know how
The
he's
coffin
alive.
drop.
I don't know how when he did that on Cody and hit the apron. No. Like, he's a twig. How would gravity?
Okay.
Like,
how
is
okay,
that
I would
okay?
okay.
Gravity.
In the end, I would have given it a pass. The Moxley and Omega a pass. If I actually enjoyed the match, if I didn't get the feeling that it was more spot fest than actual wrestling with hardcore elements.
You know what I think it also is? I think we're spoiled. I think that between what we've seen in NXT, a la Adam Cole and Gargano, and Ciampa and Gargano, and like what we've seen in WWE over our entirety of fandom, not anything recent, because God knows there hasn't been a unsanctioned match like
The closest thing,
Edge and Mick Foley or
the closest thing of today's age is really Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah,
But that-
and I think that on top of it all, as far as this year goes, at least, Adam Cole and Gargano, I think that gave us everything we need in anything goes type situation, and I think that our minds see things comparatively close like that. Granted, that was like summer and we're in fall now. I think that we just compare and we're like, okay, so that wasn't as good as this, so I'm gonna call it gutter trash. You know, it's still two guys.
But I really wasn't comparing it to anything.
Yeah,
I was just watching it and just thinking, did anything really entertain me? Because I compare it after I don't compare while watching. I like how you compared Owen Hart with
My mind just randomly
Brody with Cody
fucking
and
went
Jericho.
there during that match.
Honestly, I was just basically
Just seeing how MJF was acting sympathetic and everything, like my mind just went to Owen Hart in that Survivor Series match.
I'm just thinking about just what is being presented.
Like
to
you're
me.
gonna go back to that, you're gonna be like, wow.
It's like, oh yeah, once I watch it again, I'm just like, huh.
And I think, again, I've seen both examples of what you two are talking about, where if you've been watching wrestling for any relatively long length of time, eventually certain tropes are going to repeat because they work. Mm-hmm. There's going to be something that just like that brings your mind back to, oh, this is a throwback to this, or this match is very similar to another match that just recently happened. Our minds will naturally go to something like that. At least for some of us.
For me, it's more after the fact,
right?
When breaking down these matches than anything,
right? And I get that too. Where again, when I was watching the Cody Jericho match, I didn't think of that before, even though I had seen clips and I had seen the whole match that you were describing beforehand.
Hell,
that
the
being
documentary,
said,
right?
I think it was.
Was it?
I think so. I think I'm not 100%
anyway,
sure. But
here's my point. The way I originally saw this, this match did not have the strongest build. It had enough of one if you want to dig and look for it, but again, if you have to dig and look for it, it's usually 9 times out of 10 not the best storytelling. That being said, however, I also see this as being an outcoming of just being a very, very young promotion, meaning that a younger promotion will rely less on fully fleshed out storylines for every single member, and instead tend to opt for dream matches or spectacle matches. This strikes to me as a spectacle match before a whole lot of faces and heels are established to work with. So why am I bringing this up now? Because I'm going to make a prediction, and that prediction says I think you're going to see a lot less of this sort of match in the future. You're still going to
think it was trial and error and failed?
Not necessarily trial and error, but more akin to this is the kind of match that you can have in a younger upstart federation. You just don't need as much build in storyline wise. Why? Because you've got two very huge names and you're just mashing them each other. You don't need a feud because the names on the marquee are the draw themselves. Okay. Will that last forever? No, absolutely not. Will they be able to get away with this again next year? Absolutely not. Definitely not. And I think everyone in AEW right now is wise enough to understand that and make adjustments as they need to, which is why I say my prediction, these kinds of matches will happen occasionally, but I think they're going to happen far less than you're seeing them right now.
I think so too. I agree with that one. I actually feel the same, especially with the kind of the reaction it got. And in all honesty, I think this match is not going to be so memorable.
Well, yeah, let's face it. The takeaway from Full Gear was making MJF.
Even so, I mean, just for the sake, like, this is their first unsanctioned match. So this is pretty much going to be in comparison to future ones.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, they'll definitely probably, like, I definitely feel they're going to try and one-up it. But on account of, like, oh, this is going to be, like, Jericho and Cody, I feel, is going to be the more, not just because of MJF, I just feel like on account of, like, memorable matches. Just just matches.
Prior to that, there was Cody smashing his face in and almost scorpion tailing on the entrance ramp.
I'm just talking about just the quality of matches.
Yeah.
Like, no, I feel like it's like, oh yeah, people are gonna look at Moxley and Omega and be like, oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Like,
yeah.
Oh, that unsanctioned match.
I feel like if that switched places with Cody and Jericho, people would have left happier.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, sorry.
My
Apple Watch. I was
Apple
just
Watch
sitting
tried to put in their opinion on
Yeah. Shut up, Siri. Nobody asked you. Stupid bitch.
Oh, be nice.
Now that's a little uncalled for.
That's
When
wrong.
Skynet officially takes over, she's gonna remember that.
Oh, brother.
You're gonna lose a hand because of that now.
Yeah, I'll be doomed to the robots. Sorry,
Before
Siri.
we all get doomed to
talk
the
later.
robots, final beard ratings for AEW Full Gear.
Let's start with the sit.
You gotta help the sit out with the.
5, goat face. 4, full beard. 3, classic goatee. 2, peach fuzz, and 1, clean shaven.
I'm gonna go with a full beard.
Gonna go with a full beard.
Yeah, because of that right there. Rio and Emi Sakura.
It's like Jeff's
Time
notes.
stood still.
Because of that, Jeff's
Because
notes.
of Jeff's notes, this event sucked. Fuck your notes. No, because of that match, time stood still.
Mean.
It just ruined the flow of the whole event, and
Oh, I'm just like, which match is he pointing to? Because he keeps pointing at
Yeah.
the paper,
Rio.
but I don't know which match he's
Rio, the 5-pound women's champion.
No, she's not 5 pounds. She's fun-sized.
She's 5 pounds wet.
Good night,
Don't
everybody.
get Jeff started with.
Oh! you had you.
No.
Normally, I'm the one that goes there. You really?
No. Anyway, I'm going to just go right ahead and say, yeah, definitely full beard on this. And that's I can see this match easily getting much lower if you really did not like the Moxley Omega match. I, however, did, as much of a as a lack of a build and crazy spectacle it was. I'm a mark for both these guys, and they can just like do whatever. And it's not art, but I still enjoyed it. I had a good time. Full beard.
I'm gonna give it a full beard as well. The two matches aside, it was all around a pretty good show. I didn't have that many complaints, and they continued it on with what they did on Dynamite Kick, and
You know you love it.
I do. It's growing on me.
And once again, the fact that it took Pac to Dynamite Kick to gain that win over Adam Page kind of ruined the flow for me. I was like, oh, it's like, really, man? Really, man? Especially, I said, I was really hoping that the Dynamite Kick match was actually on Full Gear.
I love how Jim Ross announces Pac. The bastard.
That bastard.
Bastard.
Hey, when it works, it works. But yeah, that was AEW Full Gear. Now we're turning it over to you, our listening, wrestling, and viewing audiences. Catch us all over. Let us know what you think. What was your match of the night? What did you ultimately think of Jon Moxley versus Kenny Omega? We want to hear from you all across the internet, whether it's a YouTube comment, a Facebook post, pointing at your neighbor thinking he's a screwball. Wherever you are, let us know, especially on the Twitter machines, starting with @ScholarsOW for all the latest episode uploads. And you can also check us out on our personal Twitter accounts and join the conversation more directly. Mr. Party Champ, where can they find you?
You can find me at the Avatar.
Mr. Sit, where can they find you?
Once again, I tried for Charlie Monroe, but Twitter gave me Charleem.
Charlie.
Yes, Charleem.
And yet it still somehow has charm.
Charleem.
As does my Twitter handle, I'm Robbie Rage. And you can also check out our dear co-host, Scholar Brian, at Atomic Beanpole.
If you really want to.
Oh, trust me, you want to.
Ooh, real. He's gonna watch that episode and hear that little jab.
You know
And
what?
the
You
last-
know what?
you know what
And
the
then I'll
last
become
time-
champion again, and then he'll like ruin and piss on my Oreos. How I put it.
So you gotta watch what you say when he's not here.
Oh, don't worry. There'll be plenty of scholars to piss on your Oreos. Because you know
I
who
can't
we
believe I
are.
mixed that up.
On your golden Oreos.
You know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
Watch your Oreos, and we'll see you next week.
Oreo O's.